the weakest link. The 9 people in the studio here this evening, due to their occupations, are people we love to hate. Any one of them could win up to £50,000. They don't know each other, however. If they want that prize money, they'll have to work as a team. But 8 of them will leave with nothing. As round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Steve, I'm 36, from Selsey Bill in West Sussex, and I'm a traffic warden.
I'm James, I'm 23, I'm from Nottingham, and I'm an estate agent.
I'm Carol, I'm 38, I'm from Exmouth near Newmarket, and I'm a bank manager.
I'm Phil, I'm 51, from Ramsgate, and I'm a bailiff.
I'm Kath, I'm 27, I'm from Liverpool, and I'm a telesales manager for Windows.
I'm Simon M, I'm 34, I'm from Bristol, and I'm an insurance salesman.
I'm David, I'm 37, I come from Glasgow, and I'm a property developer.
I'm Christine, I'm 42, from Oxford, and I'm a medical receptionist.
I'm Simon P, I'm 22, I'm from London, and I'm a money broker.
Now, the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say the word bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Carol. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is for £100. Start the clock. Carol, in riding, what name is given to the padded leather seat attached to the back of a horse for the rider to sit on?
Saddle.
Correct. Phil, in maths, what is 18 divided by 3?
6.
Correct. Kath, in nature, the edible truffles that grow in the wild are what sort of organisms? Fungi or fruit?
Fungi.
Correct. Simon M, in modern literature, which 1974 Peter Benchley novel is about a town terrorised by a shark?
Jules.
Correct. David.
Bang.
In London, traditionally, a true Cockney was a person born within the sound of which bells?
Tower of London.
Bow bells. Christine, in education, what H is the branch of knowledge which deals with past events?
History.
Correct. Simon P, what term for a broad street sometimes lined with trees is often abbreviated to AVE?
Avenue.
Correct. Steve, where would you be more likely to find a kaleidoscope, a toy box or a medicine chest?
A toy box.
Correct. James, in the UK, when a person asks for 3 cheers, which word is the usual response to the cue hip hip?
Hooray.
Correct. Carol, in
Bank.
history, what was the surname of the French Emperor Napoleon I?
Bonaparte.
Correct. Phil, in clothing, what S is an open shoe usually fastened with straps that was popular with the ancient Greeks and Romans?
Sandal.
Correct. Kath, in which sport have Mike Brearley, Mike Gatting and Michael Atherton all captained England?
Cricket.
Correct. Simon M, in a hotel, which 4-letter term is used to refer to a room containing 2 single beds?
Pass.
Twin. David, which celebrity chef shares her first name with a peppery seed used in Indian and Middle Eastern cookery, Delia or Nigella?
Nigella.
Correct. Christine, in the UK in 1988, which English cathedral situated in Kent was officially designated as a World Heritage Site?
Don't know.
Canterbury. Simon P. If 2 things which people refer to differently are actually the same thing, they are 6 of one and half a what of the other?
Half a dozen.
Correct. Steve, in medicine, what L is an inflammation of the throat resulting in hoarseness or a loss of voice?
Laryngitis.
Correct. James, In informal English, if a cheque is returned without being paid because of lack of funds in a bank account, it is said to have done what?
Bounced.
Correct. Carol. In the animal kingdom, conger and moray are both types of which snake-like fish?
Eel.
Correct. Phil. In architecture, the early English style is considered to belong to which era, Gothic or Baroque?
Gothic.
Correct. Kath. In modern history, the British royal house called Saxe-Coburg-Gotha changed its name in 1917 to what?
Pass.
Windsor.
Windsor.
Simon M. In commerce, what word comes after real or before agent? Time's up! And in that first round, out of a possible £5,000, you achieved a very miserable £2,000. So, who is it here who deserves to be despised? Who's as dim as they are nasty? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
The statistics show that Carol is the first strongest link. Simon M is the weakest link. But who will the players vote off so early in the game?
Voting over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
David.
Carol.
David.
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 Kath.
Kath.
Steve.
Steve, do you need any qualifications to be a traffic warden?
No, only a nice face, nice smile, and lots
So how
of
did you
personality.
get in?
I would have thought that's fairly obvious, Anne.
Where do you traffic warden?
I'm in Midhurst in West Sussex.
Are you one of many in
No.
Midhurst?
No, I'm the only one. It's my patch.
When you take a lunch break, can people park on double yellow lines?
When I'm not there, I have no control over what happens, so I guess they can.
What time's your lunch break? Why David?
He got a question wrong, and he deliberated over the other one.
Kath, what do you do?
I'm a regional manager for telesales for Windows.
Go on.
We make appointments with the public to...
The public?
The
And
public.
who are you?
I'm the public. Just like you.
I'm not the public. It's 7:30 in the evening.
Oh.
I'm just about to serve my husband his supper.
Right.
And the telephone goes.
Go on, yes.
What have you trained your people to say to me?
Hi, is that Mrs. Robinson?
No.
Can I speak to the homeowner, please?
Yes.
My name's Kathy.
I don't want to buy anything.
You don't? Actually, in that case, then I have got a number I can give you that you can ring and get your
I
name
just want
deleted
you
from
off
our
the
records.
phone.
You're very nice. Thank you ever so much for your time anyway. Is there anything I can call you back on in
Can
the
you
future?
put the receiver down?
Thank you for your time.
Why David?
He was hesitant and lacking in confidence.
Simon M., what do you do?
I'm an insurance salesman, Anne.
Are you? Are you an independent advisor?
I am.
And that means you get commission too?
Very much so.
So why do you call yourself independent?
I'd like to think I'm pretty
I don't
independent.
care what you'd like to think. I'm telling you what we think.
We, the public, or...?
We, the public.
Oh, you are the public now?
I am at the moment.
Oh, right.
Did you think David was statistically the worst player?
Yes.
If I told you he wasn't, could you think of someone who might have been?
Me? Oh, nice.
So statistically, the worst player was Simon M., but it's votes that count. David, you were even thicker than I thought. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think Kath should be standing here. She was weaker than I was. She didn't bank any money, and indeed, she lost the team a lot.
Round two, team. So far, you've banked just £2,000. You're down to 8 players. We are now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Carol. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Carol, in language, what P is another name for a bucket?
Pail.
Correct. Phil, in the 1970s TV sitcom Dad's Army, what was the civilian profession of Captain Mannering?
A bank manager.
Correct. Kath, in geography, in which European country is the ancient city of Cordoba?
Rome.
No, Spain. Simon M, in food, which green beans are also known as fava beans, runner or broad?
Runner.
Broad. Christine, in property, a self-contained living area built onto a house which is suitable for an elderly relative is known as a what flat?
Granny flat.
Correct. Simon P, in pop music, singer and guitarist Steve Marriott fronted the 1960s group The Small What?
Pass.
Faces. Steve, what C is the name given to the usually female groups that perform routines with pom-poms at American sporting events?
Cheerleaders.
Correct. James, on a payslip, which word describes the amount of wages remaining after all deductions such as taxes and national insurance?
Net amount.
Correct. Carol, in the animal kingdom, which breed of dog is named after a German tax collector, Jack Russell or Doberman Pinscher?
Doberman Pinscher.
Correct. Phil, in a playground, what name is given to a revolving circular platform which children ride for amusement?
A roundabout.
Correct. Kath, in UK geography, Canvey Island in the Thames estuary forms part of which English county?
Pass.
Essex. Simon M, in gardening, what P is a method of cutting back a shrub in order to shape it and encourage regrowth?
Pollard.
I'll accept pollarding or pruning. Christine, in March 2002, which Mancunian pop star made headlines after a run-in with doormen at the Met Bar in London?
Noel Gallagher.
No, Liam Gallagher. Simon P, in sport, Belmont Park Racecourse is situated in which US city?
New York.
Correct. Steve, in language, what does the borrowed word kudos mean in its original Greek? Glory or pity?
Glory.
Correct. James, in modern literature, who wrote the novel entitled How to Be Good, which won the 2002 W.H. Smith Fiction Award?
Pass.
Nick Hornby. Carol,
Bang.
in 2002, what type of big African cat was in the news after adopting a succession of baby antelopes?
Leopard.
Lioness. Phil, in money, what D is a part payment made as security on a purchase and which may not be returned if the sale is not completed?
Deposit.
Correct. Kath, what specific name is shared by a playing card and a nursery rhyme character who made some tarts?
The Queen of Hearts.
Correct. Simon M, in the UK, which county contains castles called Amberley, Arundel and Bramber, North Yorkshire or West Sussex?
Sussex.
Correct. Christine, in the home, which item of kitchen equipment might feature a... Time's up and you did extremely badly, team. Out of a possible £5,000, you put in the kitty just £750. Who is seriously ready to go belly up? Who has definitely lost their deposit? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Having answered the most questions correctly, Phil is the strongest link. Statistically, Kath is the weakest link because she gave the most wrong answers. But will the other players have realised that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Kath.
Kath.
Simon M.
Simon M.
Simon M.
Simon P.
Simon M.
Simon M.
Carol, you're a bank manager.
I am.
Are you in a branch in the High Street?
I'm in a branch in Bury St Edmunds.
Supposing my husband has left me and I need some money and I come in to see you and I say, I have no job and I have no money and my children are starving, will you help?
No.
Well, how horrid is that?
It's pretty horrid. It's realistic.
Why Simon M?
It's 2 rounds he's let us down in now.
Simon Nice but dim, what do you do?
I'm a money broker, Anne.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
How much did you earn last year?
Oof, that's confidential.
Roughly between what and what?
Between a 0 and a million. That's it.
What particular talent do you have to earn all this money?
Just to be a pretty loud mouth, pretty sharp, have a wavy haircut.
Have you got a girlfriend?
No girlfriend, no time for a girlfriend.
No, of course you haven't.
And I'm too much of a mummy's boy to have a girlfriend.
You still living with Mummy?
Yep.
Why Simon M?
This one I thought Simon was the weakest link, so I went for Simon this time.
Statistically, it was our double glazing saleswoman. But it's votes that count. Simon, with 5 votes, you are the weakest link. Bye.
I feel totally embarrassed to be voted off in round 2. I got some very easy questions wrong. My friends are going to absolutely kill me. It's going to be the most embarrassing moment of my life on national TV.
Round 3, team, and out of a possible £10,000, you have banked so far just 2,750. You're down to 7 players. We're taking another 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's the bailiff. Phil, let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Phil, in April 2002, a dispute took place in Los Angeles over the ownership of a famous sign of 50-foot-high letters spelling which place name?
Hollywood.
Correct, Kath. What C is a French word for the person in charge of the entrance of a building?
The controller.
The concierge. Christine, in pop music, which singer had a UK hit single in 1997 with Old Before I Die?
I don't know.
Robbie Williams. Simon P. The major charitable initiative launched nationally in the UK in March 2002 is called Sport what?
Sport aid.
Relief. Steve, in the Tales of the Arabian Nights, what was the profession of Aladdin's father, ironmonger or tailor?
Taylor.
Correct, James. In language, a person who is dependent on somebody else can be said to be tied to their apron what?
Strings.
Correct, Carol. In World War I, what type of weapon was the Big Bertha?
Is it a bomb?
A gun. Phil, in modern literature, the poet Roger McGough is most associated with which English city?
Cambridge.
Liverpool. Kath, in British wildlife, what P is a type of native falcon and an old-fashioned male first name?
Peregrine.
Correct. Christine, in schools, what term for a senior pupil authorised to enforce discipline is an anagram of perfect?
Prefect.
Correct. Simon P. In world geography, the country of Moldova is part of which continent?
Pass.
Europe,
Sorry.
Europe. Steve, in politics, how many constituencies are there in the UK? 259 or 659?
659.
Correct, James. In the 18th century, Jean-Paul Marat was a leader of the revolution in which European country?
France.
Correct, Carol. In a nuclear reactor, what M is the name given to a disaster in which the core overheats and liquefies and radiation escapes into the environment?
Meltdown.
Correct, Phil.
Bang.
In road transport, a trolley bus is powered by which form of energy?
Electricity.
Correct, Kath. In April 2002, which former 1970s pop idol embarked on a national comeback tour of the UK?
Elton John.
No, David Cassidy. Christine, in nature, love lies bleeding is the name of what? A garden plant or a small insect?
A garden plant.
Correct. Simon P. In women's fashion, fitted calf-length trousers originally designed for cycling are known as pedal what?
Boots. Pushers, sorry.
No,
Pushers.
I have to accept your first answer. Pushes is the correct answer. Steve, in language, if a person sounds angry but does not actually do anything harmful, then their bark... Time's up. I can't complete the question. And you are going down and down and down. In that round, you put into the kitty just £500. Who, frankly, couldn't sell an igloo to the Eskimos? Whose credit has just dried up? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
As the only player to get all his answers wrong, Simon P. is the weakest link. The statistics reveal that James is the strongest link. But will the votes reflect the reality?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Simon P.
Kath.
Simon P.
Kath.
Simon P.
Simon P.
Kath.
Steve, that is a truly dreadful shirt.
Thank you very much. I think it matches your hair very nicely.
Why Simon P?
There's no room for greasy-haired people in this show.
Kath, did you go straight into double glazing?
No, I didn't. I acted for a while.
So you didn't have much of a career in it?
I did actually have a very good career, but then I chose to move out of it and go into this.
Do a lot of actresses think, I'm really, really good at this, but I think I'll go into double glazing? Why Simon P?
I just felt that it was his weakest round.
We're going to send you back to Mummy now, Simon P. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Definitely love to see Steve off next. Comment about the greasy hair is totally out of order. It's naturally curly, Steve. That shirt, there's no excuse for it. To be honest, I think Anne secretly fancied me quite a bit. So I think she was a bit disappointed to see me go as well. But maybe I'll catch up with her after the show.
Round 4, team. And you've won so far £3,250. You're down to 6 players. We're taking another 10 seconds off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's James, the estate agent. Let's play the weakest link. Start top. James, in the theatre, what I is a name given to an organiser, promoter or producer of shows?
Pass.
Impresario. Carol, in UK geography, the new town of Milton Keynes was created in which decade of the 20th century?
70s.
No, the 60s. Phil, in which field of the arts did the American Grandma Moses find fame in her 70s, painting or ballet?
Ballet.
No, painting. Kath, in the animal kingdom, which word follows gold, jelly and flying to give the names of 3 aquatic creatures?
Fish, Anne.
Correct. Christine, in housing, endowment and repayment are both forms of what kind of property loan?
Mortgages.
Correct. Steve, in nature, what sea is the name given to a steep or vertical rock face of considerable height often found on the coast?
Cliff.
Correct. James,
Bank.
in pop music featured on the 1966 album Revolver, which of the Beatles wrote the song Taxman?
Paul McCartney.
No, George Harrison. Carol, in April 2002, the German World War II code-breaking machine called Enigma was returned to its Bletchley Park home by which BBC TV presenter?
I don't know, sorry.
Jeremy Paxman. Phil, in media, the Morning Herald, the oldest daily newspaper in Australia, is published in which city?
Sydney.
Correct. Kath.
Bank.
In cricket, what B is the term for a fast, short-pitch ball that rises sharply?
Bat.
Answer. Christine, in geography, Porthcawl and Bridgend are towns in which country of the UK?
Wales.
Correct. Steve, in politics, which former Prime Minister celebrated his 90th birthday in April 2002 with a party held at 10 Downing Street?
James Callaghan.
Correct. James, in pop music, the Liverpudlian singer who released the album When I Was Cruel in April 2002 is Elvis who?
Costello.
Correct. Carol, in food and drink, a spirit described as a Scotch whisky must be matured for a minimum of how many years, 3 or 10?
10.
No, 3. Phil, what word precedes dancing to describe a Middle Eastern entertainment that features undulating movements of the hips and abdomen?
Belly.
Correct. Kath, in the Bible, who was the older brother of Moses?
Abraham.
Aaron. Christine, in the human body, what B is the common name for the bony upper part of the nose?
The bridge.
Correct. Steve, in tennis, in a calendar year, the Grand Slam is made up of how many championships?
4.
Correct. James, when talking about clothing, which 3-letter word means to put on? Time's up. The correct answer is don. You won £600. You need to do far, far better. Who is the fly in your jam, the bug in your soup, the spanner in your works? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Statistically, Steve is the strongest link. Because she got all her answers wrong, Carol is the weakest link. But how will the votes go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Carol.
Carol.
Kath.
Carol.
Carol.
James.
Phil, you're a bailiff.
Yes, Anne.
Do you enjoy making lives a misery?
No, but I
That
don't.
took you a long time to answer. Why Carol?
I I think she had a poor round that round and didn't give me a lot to bank.
James, the estate agent. Are you married?
No.
Oh, are you gay?
No. No. Definitely not.
Why doesn't your pink handkerchief match your pink tie?
I don't know.
Do you feel a bit of an idiot?
No, I feel quite nice, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why Carol?
I suppose I couldn't vote for myself, so I voted for Carol.
Well, this is a great moment for people in Bury St Edmunds who've been refused a loan when they were desperate. Carol, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think Kath will probably be voted off next. You can pretty much guarantee Kath will get a question wrong in each round, or it seems to have been that way. I've just had a particularly one bad round here and have come out of it. So I think that's what will probably happen next.
Round 5 for our team of people in professions we love to hate. Your total so far is a pathetic £3,850. You're down to 5 players, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's the traffic warden. Steve, let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Steve, in film, in 1998, George Clooney and Nick Nolte starred in which World War II drama, The Thin Red Line or The Double Yellow Line?
The first one. The Thin Red Line.
Correct. James, in chemistry, a calcium carbonate is a compound consisting of calcium carbon and which other element?
Water.
Oxygen. Phil, in UK geography, in which English city are the districts of Edgbaston and Erdington?
That pass.
Birmingham. Kath, in medicine, what C is a term meaning a period of recovery after a serious illness or operation?
Convalescence.
Correct. Christine, in the animal kingdom, the disease hard pad usually affects which domestic pet?
Cats.
Dogs. Steve, in politics, what is the status of Norway? Kingdom or republic?
Kingdom.
Correct. James, in building, what name is given to the part of an ordinary room that is parallel and opposite to the floor?
Ceiling.
Correct.
Bank.
Phil, in finance, the letters in the acronym BAC stand for Bankers Automated What Services?
Currency.
Clearing. Kath, in dining etiquette, what S is another name for a table napkin placed on the lap at mealtimes?
A serviette.
Correct. Christine, in gardening, what name is given to a suspended container filled with trailing plants, usually attached to a wall bracket?
Hanging basket.
Correct. Steve, in
Bank.
language, an upper-class man with an ebullient manner and a materialistic outlook is often referred to as a hooray what?
Henry.
Correct. James, in April 2002, which former Manchester United footballer was awarded the freedom of his home borough of Castlereagh in East Belfast?
Roy Keane.
George Best. Phil,
Bank.
in the UK, the 900-acre grounds of Longleat House was landscaped by the gardener known as Capability who?
Pass.
Brown. Kath, in computing, the type of printer that creates characters by hammering the ends of pins against an ink ribbon is known as a dot what?
A .com.
No, dot matrix.
Oh.
Christine, in which American sport are teams divided between the NFC and the AFC conferences?
American football.
Correct. Steve,
Bank.
in music, which word follows bag and pan to give the names of 2 win... Time's up. £550 you put in the kitty. Whose last brain cell has now clearly died of loneliness? Who deserves to be put out with the rubbish? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Steve is the strongest link for the second round in a row. Phil is the weakest link, as he was the only player not to get a question right. But will the team have noticed that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Phil.
Phil.
James.
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 Kath, how many people work for you?
About 130, 140 people.
What do they call you behind your back?
Lovely.
Why James?
I just felt it wasn't his strongest round.
No. Statistically, the worst player was the bailiff. But it's votes that count. James, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'd like to see Kath be voted off next because really double glazing companies and her job, I really get irritated by cold calling and the whole way they do their business.
Round 16. And out of a possible £25,000, you have banked just 4,400. You're down to 4 players. The traffic warden, the bailiff, the double glazing saleswoman, and the doctor's receptionist. We're cutting another 10 seconds from your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Steve. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Steve, in fashion history in medieval times, the typical dress for men was doublet and what?
Hose.
Correct. Phil, in medicine, if your doctor prescribes an embrocation, how should you take it, internally or externally?
Internally.
Externally. Kath, in the 1962 film Lolita, the actor who played Humbert was James who?
Caan.
Mason. Christine, in informal English, the practice of shopping to cheer oneself up is known as retail what?
Therapy.
Correct. Steve,
Thanks.
in the animal kingdom, which colour of cat shares its name with an aromatic spice?
Ginger.
Correct. Phil, in geography, what A is the arm of the Mediterranean on the coast of which are situated the Italian cities of Venice and Trieste?
Algiers.
Adriatic. Kath, the word cab, an abbreviation of cabriolet, is a traditional carriage with one horse and how many wheels?
2.
Correct. Christine, in art, the painter Vincent van Gogh was born in which European country?
Italy.
No, the Netherlands. Steve, in modern English, what D is a 4-letter word meaning that which is owed or due?
Debt.
Correct. Phil, in history, which city-state in Southeast Asia left the Federation of Malaysia in 1965 to become a republic?
Pass.
Singapore. Kath, in finance, a person appointed by an insurance company to negotiate a claim with a domestic policyholder is known as a what adjuster?
Loss adjuster.
Correct. Christine, in building, what name is given to a window that is hinged like a door?
Louvre.
Casement. Steve, in pop music, A Kind of Magic was a 1986 UK hit single for which rock group?
Queen.
Correct. Phil, in tennis, the first black man to win the singles championship at Wimbledon was Arthur who?
Haynes.
Ash. Kath, in geography, which Middle Eastern country is situated between Israel and Saudi Arabia?
Pass.
Jordan. Christine, in food and drink, what 4-letter word commonly means to make beer or tea?
Brew.
Correct. Steve,
Right.
in maths, which number is represented by a 1 followed by 4 zeros?
1,000.
No, 10,000. Time's up and you bank just £300, who is only going to cost you money if you keep them on the team. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Having survived the previous vote, Phil remains the weakest link. Steve is the strongest link for the 3rd round in a row. But will the votes reflect the statistics?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Phil.
Kath.
Phil. Phil.
Steve, when
Yes,
you were
sir.
a little boy at school,
Yeah.
did you dream of becoming a traffic warden?
Not every night, only on Monday and Tuesday.
What would you really have liked to have been?
Probably TV presenter, I would have thought.
Oh, you can perform, can you?
I do like to do a little bit of entertaining sometimes.
Oh, really? Entertainers?
Am I permitted to go to my pocket with my... Good. Thank you very much, baby. All right. You're beautiful, baby.
Why, Phil?
I'm afraid it was a poor round for Phil. Didn't answer many of the questions correctly.
Mrs. Double Glazing. Why, Phil?
Just a weak round for Phil.
It was. He didn't answer a single question correctly. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I was lousy in the last 2 rounds. Mine went a blank, but there you go.
Round 7, and out of a possible £30,000, you got 4,700. You're down to 3 players. Another 10 seconds coming off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Steve. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Steve, in Africa, Morocco has a coastline on the Mediterranean Sea. In which ocean?
Pass.
Atlantic. Kath, which slang expression meaning the absolute worst thing or situation possible is also the name of the refuelling area on a motor racing track?
The pits.
Correct. Christine.
Bank.
The name of which imperial measure of capacity precedes the word size to give a term often applied to very small people?
Pint.
Correct. Steve. In
Bank.
UK geography, the Royal Shakespeare and the Swan are theatres in which Warwickshire town?
Stratford.
Correct.
Bank.
Kath, in music, a singer who can instinctively hit any note with absolute accuracy is said to have perfect what?
Pitch.
Correct. Christine,
Bank.
in rocket science, in which country is the Woomera long-range weapons establishment?
Australia.
Correct. Steve,
Bank.
in April 2002 in rugby union, Gregor Townsend became the most capped player of which Six Nations country?
Scotland.
Correct. Kath, the village of Dulverton and the Brendan Hills are both in which English national park?
The Peak District.
Exmoor. Christine, in motoring, a car transmission system that provides power directly to all the wheels of the vehicle is described by what 3-word term?
I don't know.
4-wheel drive. Steve, in which religion does a marriage ceremony take place under a hoopah?
Muslim.
Judaism. Kath, in business, a person who invests in a company but's not involved in running it is known as a sleeping what?
Partner.
Correct.
Bank.
Christine, the 607-foot-high Space Needle built for the 1962 World Fair is in which US city?
Los Angeles.
Seattle. Steve, in England and Wales, an illegally imprisoned person can secure his release with the court procedure called habeas what?
Corpus.
Correct. Kath, what word is both the name given to a computer screen and a type of lizard?
A saver.
A monitor. Christine, the Gutenberg Bible, the first known volume to be printed using movable metal type, was written in which ancient language?
Hebrew.
Time's up. The correct answer is Latin, and you bank £600. Now, in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank, which means potentially there's £15,000 to be won. The question is, who are you going to hang on to? Who are you going to get rid of? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
At this crucial stage in the game, Steve is again the strongest link. For the first time in the game, Christine is the weakest link statistically. But who will be taking the final walk of shame?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Christine.
Christine.
Kath.
Steve, why Christine?
I think she had the weakest round of the 3 of us.
Kath, why Christine?
I just felt that she had a weaker round than myself, Anne.
Well, statistically, she was the worst player. So, Christine, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm quite surprised that I was voted off before a double glazing person, because any of my friends would tell you they are my absolute pet hate. I'd like to see Steve win because he's hysterical. He's been really good fun.
Round 18, and out of a possible £35,000, you have achieved the magnificent sum of £5,300. So we can hardly accuse you of being greedy. The traffic warden and the double glazing saleswoman are left. You've got 90 seconds, but whatever you win in this round will be trebled. So £15,000 is up for grabs. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Steve. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Steve, in customs in 1910, which country initiated Father's Day?
Ireland.
No, the United States. Kath, in pop music, the growth of the movement known as acid house in the 1980s and 90s was particularly linked to which Mediterranean island?
Ibiza.
Correct. Steve, in the 1968 Olympic Games, Dick Fosbury, using a technique now named after him, won gold in which athletics event?
The high jump.
Correct. Kath,
Bank.
in the card game Pontoon, what numerical value is given to the picture cards?
Pass.
10. Steve. In the Battle of Britain, which famous British fighter plane was made by the Supermarine Company?
Spitfire.
Correct.
Bank.
Kath. In maths, what is 23 plus 59?
82.
Correct. Steve.
Bank.
In literature, which British scientist wrote an 1839 book based on his voyage on HMS Beagle?
Pass.
Charles Darwin. Kath. In geography, which range of mountains extends from New Mexico in the south through the United States to Canada in the north?
The Rockies.
Correct. Steve.
Bank.
In Britain, which boy's name precedes the word public in the informal phrase meaning the ordinary man on the street?
Joe.
Correct. Kath. In common parlance...
Hank. Sorry.
It's too late. In common parlance, a very young or small person is said to be knee-high to which insect?
Knee-high to a cricket.
A grasshopper. Steve. Which term for the large intestine... Time's up. And between you in that round, you banked £500, which will treble and add to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means prize money tonight of £6,800. But of course, only one of you can take that money home. So now you'll play against each other head to head. I'll ask alternating questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. So Steve and Kath for £6,800. Let's play the weakest link. Steve, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice of who goes first.
I'm a true gentleman, so I'll go second.
Kath, in literature, which British Prime Minister wrote a 6-volume history of the Second World War?
Haldean.
The correct answer is Winston Churchill. Steve, in pop music in 2002, which New Zealand-born actor released an album with his band 30-odd Foot of Grunts entitled Clarity?
Pass.
Correct answer is Russell Crowe. Kath, in 1983, the first Disneyland theme park outside the United States opened in which country?
Pass.
Correct answer is Japan. Steve, which castle in northwest Wales, where the current Prince of Wales was invested, was built in the 13th century by Edward I?
Corfe Castle.
No, the correct answer is Carnarvon Castle. Kath, which US actress, better known for her dancing, won an Oscar for her role in the 1940 film Kitty Foyle?
Shirley MacLaine.
No, the correct answer is Ginger Rogers. Steve, in total, how many Oxford and Cambridge students are in the 2 boats in the annual university boat race on the Thames?
16.
No, the correct answer is 18. Up till now, you have not answered a single question correctly in this final round. Kath, in TV, reports on the famine in Ethiopia made by which BBC journalist and newsreader inspired Band Aid and Live Aid?
Pass.
The correct answer is Michael Burke. Steve, in the UK, which charity, founded in 1970 to support lone parent families, shares its name with a type of cake?
Victoria Sponge.
The correct answer is gingerbread. Kath, what term for a person who is always reading is also the name of a kind of insect which destroys printed volumes by eating through pages?
A bookworm.
That is the correct answer. Steve, you need to answer this question correctly, or else Kath takes home the money. Which children's characters first appeared in a 1968 book by Elizabeth Beresford and later featured on TV and in the pop charts?
Smurfs.
No, the correct answer is the Wombles. That means, Kath, you are tonight's strongest link and you go away with £6,800. Steve, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Bye.
I think I've enhanced the reputation of the traffic warden, who is looked upon as a dour, rather drab person. But I think I've proved I'm not like that.
Obviously, I'm over the moon that I've won, but I deserve to win as far as I'm concerned.
I'm a little bit disappointed to be beaten by Kath at the end. I feel I might have let myself down a little bit with perhaps if I'd chosen the first set of questions, although I didn't know many of those answers either.